When Lisa's coworker Richard sneered, "How does it feel?" At her company dinner, I checked my watch and smirked because in exactly 6 minutes, 4 process servers, an IRS agent, and an HR director would destroy his life in front of everyone. And he had no idea I'd spent 8 months orchestrating every second of it. This spans 8 months of preparation, gets dark as hell, but ends with hope and justice. Buckle up. Per the rules, all names changed. Michael Anderson, 39. Lisa Anderson, 36. Married 10 years. 2 boys I won't name, but they're amazing kids, 10 and 8. Built a life in suburban Chicago, nice house in Naperville, good jobs, PTA meetings, the whole American dream package. I'm an industrial designer, freelancer, work from home. She's operations manager at Tech Venture Solutions, mid-sized tech company. Or so I thought our life was real. Lisa was my college sweetheart, 10 years of marriage. We built that life from nothing, saved 4 years for the house together, supported each other's careers, raised 2 incredible boys. She was my best friend, my partner, my everything. Was. The beginning. We met in 2012 at University of Illinois, both in the business school. She was in marketing, I was in industrial design. Married in 2015 in a small ceremony at her parents' place in Wisconsin. Built our 3-bedroom house in Naperville from the ground up. Well, not literally, but we saved every penny for 4 years to afford it. Her career went from entry-level marketing coordinator to operations manager. My freelance design business went from our spare bedroom to actual corporate clients. We had traditions. Sunday pancakes, I'd make them, she'd handle the bacon, boys would set the table. Friday movie nights with excessive popcorn, annual camping trip to Wisconsin every August. The boys are 10 and 8. Smart kids, good kids, honor roll, soccer and baseball, the kind of kids who still hug their dad in public. I'm the kind of guy who researches everything before making decisions. When we bought the house, I had spreadsheets comparing mortgage rates from 8 different lenders. When the boys wanted a dog, I spent 2 months researching breeds, talking to vets, visiting shelters. I've always believed in doing things right, paying bills early, keeping promises, showing up when you say you will. I design industrial equipment for manufacturing plants, conveyor systems, assembly line components, precise work. Everything has to fit perfectly or the whole system fails. Tolerance margins measured in millimeters. I coached my older son's soccer team, helped with PTA fundraisers, organized the neighborhood block party, that guy. We had this thing where every anniversary we go back to the restaurant where I proposed, Gibson's Steakhouse in Chicago. Cheesy, I know, but it was ours. Past tense. February 2024, the first cracks. February 2024, Lisa started staying late at work. "New project, babe," she said over breakfast one Tuesday. "Big client pitch. Richard's really pushing the team hard." Richard Foster, VP of Business Development. She'd mentioned him before. Brilliant, driven, a bit intense. "He's kind of a dick, but he gets results," she'd said once. I didn't think anything of it then. I should have. I remember coming home from a client meeting early one day, maybe 6 p.m., called Lisa. "Hey, when will you be home?" "Oh, probably another hour. We're just wrapping up." The background was silent. No typing, no voices, no wrapping up sounds, just silence. "Okay, no rush. Love you." "You too." Not "love you too." Just "you too." That stuck with me. That's when I started noticing things. Small. Early February. Lisa started putting her phone face down on the table. Always, even during dinner with the boys. I thought maybe she was trying to be present, focus on family. Idiot. Moderate. March. By March, her phone was password protected. We'd always known each other's codes, practical with kids and emergencies. When I asked about it, she said, "Oh, work made us update security for client data." Made sense. Tech Venture had just landed a big healthcare contract. HAPA compliance and all that, except her laptop password didn't change, just her phone. Concerning. April. April brought new clothes, expensive stuff, dresses I'd never seen, lingerie that stayed in her drawer. I never saw her wear any of it. New perfume, too, not her usual. Something sweeter, more expensive. Treating yourself? I asked when I noticed a Victoria's Secret bag in her closet. I needed a wardrobe refresh. Is that okay? Defensive. Of course, you look great. She'd shower as soon as she got home, every single day, straight to the bathroom before even saying hi to the boys. Red flag, early May. Early May, the touching stopped. We'd always been affectionate, hand holding on the couch during movies, her head on my shoulder, random hugs in the kitchen, gone. She'd kiss my cheek instead of my lips when leaving for work. In bed, she'd turn away, already asleep, when I came upstairs. We went from intimacy twice a week to nothing. Are you okay? I asked one night. We haven't, in a while. I'm just tired. Work's been crazy. Work, always work. Alarm, late May. By late May, she was coming home at 10, 11 p.m. every single night. This pitch is killing me, she'd say, looking at her phone, smiling at something I couldn't see. Not smiling at me, at whoever was making her smile. It was a Thursday night in late May. Lisa came home at 10:30, supposedly from work, but she wasn't tired. She was energized, glowing, makeup still perfect. She went straight to shower. Didn't even say hi to me first, just, hey, be right back. 30-minute shower, came out in pajamas, grabbed her phone, went to the guest room. I have early calls tomorrow. Don't want to wake you. Third night in a row, she'd slept in the guest room. I sat on our bed where she hadn't slept in 3 nights, and it hit me like someone had dropped a weight on my chest. This wasn't work stress. This wasn't a phase. This was someone else. My hands started shaking. My stomach dropped. That feeling when you know but your brain hasn't caught up yet. I couldn't breathe right. Short, shallow gasps. By morning, I knew. That's when I decided to find out the truth. The investigation, I did what any paranoid husband would do. I Googled it. Signs your wife is cheating. How to catch a cheating spouse. What to do if you suspect an affair. I went down a rabbit hole. Reddit threads on R surviving infidelity, YouTube videos from private investigators, articles about phone surveillance, GPS tracking, credit card forensics. I felt like I was preparing for war, because I was. First rule I found everywhere. Don't confront until you have irrefutable proof. Cheaters lie, gaslight, make you feel crazy. You need evidence they can't deny. I started with social media, scrolled back through Lisa's Facebook posts from January forward, looking for anything suspicious, and I found it. A guy's name in the comments a lot, Richard Foster. January, great presentation today, on her work post. February, team dinner was fun, under a group photo. March, multiple conversations and comments I couldn't fully see, privacy settings blocked them from me. April, he'd liked everything she posted, every single thing. I clicked on Richard Foster's profile, recently divorced. 2 kids in his photos from 3 years ago, none recent, mid-40s, looked like every corporate VP, expensive suits, confident smile, gym selfies, posted about grinding and crushing goals, motivational quote reposts, that guy. But what caught my attention, photos from a company retreat in March. Lisa was in the background of one. He'd tagged her. I zoomed in on the group photo. Richard was standing next to Lisa, his hand on her lower back, her body angled toward him, laughing at something he was saying. Too familiar, too comfortable. I tried to send Richard a connection request on LinkedIn. Seemed professional enough, right? I could claim I was networking, interested in Tech Venture's business development approach. Already blocked. Why the hell would I be blocked by Lisa's coworker? Someone I'd never interacted with online. Someone I'd never even met. He knew who I was. He'd blocked his mistress's husband before I even knew he existed. That's when I went technical. We're on a family phone plan through Verizon. I'm the account holder. My name, my credit card. I logged into the online portal, pulled up 3 months of call and text data. Holy shit. Starting in February, a number I didn't recognize appeared. One number over and over, at first maybe 20 calls and 30 texts a month. By March, 50 calls and 85 texts. By April, 35 calls and 150 texts. By May, 38 calls and 200 texts. At 6:30 a.m. while I was getting the boys ready for school. At 11 p.m. while I was asleep. At 2 p.m. during her lunch break. At 9 p.m. when she said she was working late. I ran the number through a reverse lookup service, one of those sketchy websites that charges $15. Richard William Foster, age 44, works at Tech Venture Solutions Business Development Department. Bingo. But the message content wasn't in the Verizon records. Just times, frequency, duration, metadata, numbers on a screen. Metadata isn't proof of an affair, just proof of contact. A good lawyer or a good liar could explain it away. We work together, we text about projects. I needed more. My buddy Chris from college had caught his ex-wife cheating 2 years ago. I called him. How did you know for sure? Monitoring app synced to her iCloud. Read everything. That's legal? If it's a shared device on an account you own? Yeah, check with a lawyer to be sure, but that's what mine told me. We had an iPad, shared device, family photos, boys' games, Netflix. Lisa used it sometimes to check work emails on the couch. I installed a monitoring app, one of those parental control things that business people use on company devices. Synced it to her iCloud account using the password I knew. Within 48 hours, I was reading everything, and I wish to God I hadn't. June 8th, 2024, D-Day, June 8th, 2024. 1:15 a.m. I couldn't sleep. Lisa was asleep in the guest room again. Fourth night in a row, I grabbed my phone from the nightstand, opened the monitoring app, new iMessages from 20 minutes ago, sent at 12:53 a.m. Lisa, he's being weird. I think he suspects something. My heart stopped. Richard, you're paranoid. Guy's clueless. You said he doesn't even notice when you come home. Lisa, I know, but he asked about my phone password and why I've been working late. Richard, relax. We've been careful. Besides, what's he gonna do? Guy probably cries when he stubs his toe. I dropped my phone. It clattered on the hardwood floor, loud in the silent house. Lisa called from the guest room down the hall. You okay? I couldn't answer, couldn't breathe. Mike? Yeah, I managed. Phone slipped. I picked it up, hands shaking now. Read more. Lisa, LOL, probably. God, I can't wait until we can stop sneaking around. Richard, soon, baby. Soon as you leave him, we can do this right. You, me, and my place downtown. Won't have to share you with Mr. Mediocre anymore. Mr. Mediocre. I sat there on the edge of our bed. The bed she wasn't sleeping in anymore, feeling like someone had reached into my chest and crushed my heart with their bare hands. My throat got tight, eyes burned. I pressed my palms against my eye sockets, trying to stop the tears. Didn't work. I cried, silently, shoulders shaking, trying not to make noise because she was down the hall and I couldn't let her know. Not yet, not until I knew what to do. I scrolled up in their message thread, went back months. February, loved spending time with you today. March, can't stop thinking about you. April, I've never felt this way before. May, when I'm with you, everything makes sense. Hundreds of messages, love confessions, sexual content I don't want to repeat, plans for a future together, and photos. God, the photos. Them at hotels, restaurants I recognize, places she'd said she was at for team dinners. His car, his condo, I assumed. Her wearing lingerie I'd never seen. The timestamp on one photo, February 14th, Valentine's Day, the day I'd made her favorite dinner, bought her flowers, written her a card. She'd texted him that night. Wish I was with you instead. I went to the bathroom, turned on the faucet. Threw up in the toilet. The devastation. For 6 days, I was a ghost. I couldn't eat. Food tasted like cardboard. Lost 8 pounds that first week, according to the scale in our bathroom. Couldn't sleep. Maybe 2-3 hours a night. I'd lie in bed, staring at the ceiling, replaying every moment of the last 6 months. Every lie. Every I love you that didn't mean what I thought it meant. I'd look at Lisa making breakfast for the boys, smiling, playing mom, and see a stranger. A liar wearing my wife's face. This woman who I'd given 10 years to, who was supposed to be my partner, my teammate, my person, who I'd built a life with, who gave birth to our children, gone, replaced by someone I didn't recognize. The boys noticed something was wrong. "Dad, are you sick?" My 10-year-old asked on day 3. "Just work stress, bud. Big project. I'm fine." I wasn't fine. Lisa knew something was wrong, too. Kept asking if everything was okay. The fucking irony. "You've barely eaten this week," she said Wednesday night. "Are you feeling okay?" "Stomach bug. It'll pass." "Do you need to see a doctor?" I wanted to scream at her. "No, I need my wife to stop fucking her coworker." Instead, I said, "I'm fine. Just need rest." She nodded, went back to her phone, smiling at something, smiling at him. I'd go to my home office, close the door, sit in my chair and just stare at the wall. I cried multiple times a day. I'm not ashamed to say it. I sat in my car in the grocery store parking lot and sobbed. Sat in the shower with the water running so nobody would hear and just broke down. Everything hurt. Physical pain in my chest. Constant. Day 7, the transformation. Day 7, something shifted. June 15th, Thursday morning, I woke up and I wasn't sad anymore. I was fucking pissed. Lisa didn't just cheat. She mocked me, called me mediocre, laughed about me with her affair partner, told him I probably cry when I stub my toe. Like I was pathetic. Like our 10 years together meant nothing. Like our boys meant nothing. Used our money I earned from my business to pay for hotel rooms. Dinners at expensive restaurants, lingerie I never got to see, made me complicit in my own betrayal. That's when I decided I wasn't just going to divorce her quietly, file papers, split assets, move on with my life, and let her and Richard ride off into the sunset. No. I was going to systematically dismantle both their lives, legally, methodically, comprehensively. I wanted scorched earth, and I had time. They weren't going anywhere. I could be patient. I opened my laptop, started a new document. Operation Scorched Earth. I spent 3 days researching, not just divorce law anymore, everything, how to gather evidence that would hold up in court, how to protect assets in divorce, how to document workplace affairs, how to report tax fraud to the IRS, how to coordinate timing for maximum impact. I went down rabbit holes, found forums for betrayed spouses, learned from people who'd been through this, read revenge stories, legal victories, cautionary tales of what not to do. I wasn't just ending my marriage, I was ending Richard's comfortable life, his career, his reputation, his ability to destroy families without consequences. I found this quote on Reddit that became my mantra. The best revenge is not revenge. It's justice served cold, legally and comprehensively. Here's what I knew. Lisa thought I was clueless. That gave me the element of surprise. Richard thought he was untouchable. VP position, good performance, company likes him. That gave me motivation. I had time. They weren't leaving tomorrow. I could be patient. I could plan. I worked from home. I had flexibility to investigate without arousing suspicion. My advantage? I'm a designer. I solve complex problems by breaking them into systems, identifying components, understanding how they fit together, finding failure points. This was just another system to dismantle. I made rules for myself. 1, nothing illegal, no hacking, no violence, no threats. Everything by the book. 2, document everything. Timestamps, screenshots, backups of backups. 3, Don't confront until I'm ready to end it completely. No half measures, no warnings. 4. Protect the boys. They find out my way, my timing, not by accident. 5. Make Richard face consequences too. He chose to pursue a married woman. He chose to mock me. He pays. This wasn't just about catching Lisa cheating. This was about ensuring that everyone who participated in destroying my family faced appropriate consequences. If I was going to blow up my life, I was taking them with me. The evidence gathering, July through November. I created a Google sheet, meticulous records, every late night at work, every business trip, every team dinner, every client presentation. Cross-referenced with her phone records, Richard's social media activity. I created a fake profile to see his posts, and credit card statements. 6 months of data, 312 documented lies. Yes, I counted every single one. I screenshot everything from the monitoring app, organized them by date and category. Red folder, explicit sexual content. Yellow folder, planning future together. Green folder, mocking me. Blue folder, using marital money. 200 plus screenshots total. I backed everything up to an encrypted external drive that Lisa didn't know existed. Then backed up the backup to cloud storage under an email account she didn't know about. Color-coded, time-stamped, cross-referenced. Then I pulled our credit card statements, joint account. My name as primary. Went back 6 months. Highlighted every charge I couldn't verify. February 12th, Victoria's Secret, $230. She'd said she was shopping with her sister that day. Her sister posted Instagram stories from her house, 50 miles away. March 8th, hotel room in downtown Chicago, $385. We live 30 miles from Chicago. She said she was working late that night. March 22nd, dinner at Gibson's Steakhouse, $290. Our anniversary restaurant, she went there with him. The night she told me she had a team dinner at a client's office. April 15th, weekend at a bed and breakfast in Wisconsin, $890. She told me it was a company retreat. Her company didn't have a retreat in April. Every charge documented, every receipt saved in the credit card portal and screenshot. She was literally making me pay for her affair, using our money I earned, to wine and dine her boyfriend. I started reaching out to Lesa's coworkers, the ones I'd met at company events. Casual questions. Hey, how was that client dinner last week? What client dinner? That's when I knew. Some of her friends were in on it. Her best friend from work, especially. Sarah... No, wait, not Sarah. That's Richard's ex-wife. Lisa's work friend was named... Doesn't matter. The point is, some people knew and lied for her. I documented who knew, who covered for her, all complicit. Then I did something I'm not entirely proud of, but don't regret. I started investigating Richard Foster. Deep dive time. Basic info. Richard William Foster. Age 44. Divorced twice. First marriage lasted 5 years. Second lasted 3. 2 kids from first marriage, twin boys named Tyler and Ryan, 12 years old. Lives 15 miles from us in a condo in Lincoln Park. Drives a leased BMW 5 Series. Works as VP of Business Development at Tech Venture Solutions. Makes around $200K base salary plus commission. LinkedIn said he'd been there 6 years. His social media was typical corporate alpha male bullshit. Posts about crushing Q3 targets. Gym selfies with captions like no excuses. Motivational quote reposts. But recently, last 6 months, pictures at restaurants I recognized. Locations Lisa had been, comments from coworkers that proved they were together publicly, just not as a couple. He'd blocked me everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Premeditated. He knew who I was and blocked me before I even suspected. Then I found his ex-wife, Sarah Foster, on Facebook. She hadn't blocked me. Why would she? She didn't know I existed. Her profile was public. Posts about struggling as a single mom. Posts about being behind on bills. Posts about child support being late. Again and again. One post from April. When your ex is too busy buying expensive dinners for his girlfriend to pay for his own kids' school supplies, real winner right there. I clicked through her photos. Tyler and Ryan, 12 years old, wearing clothes that were slightly too small. Birthday party at a budget bowling alley. While their dad was spending $290 on steak dinners, I dug deeper, found comments from her friends. Can't you take him to court? How much does he owe now? Sarah's reply, over $80,000 at this point. His lawyer keeps delaying. I can't afford to keep fighting. $80,000. Richard Foster owed his ex-wife and children $80,000 in back child support while spending money on hotels and dinners with my wife. I screenshot everything. Then I found Tech Venture Solutions' employee handbook online, public PDF on their careers page, scrolled to the ethics policy section. Section 4.2, workplace relationships. Employees engaged in romantic relationships must disclose the relationship to HR if one party reports to the other or if there exists any actual or perceived conflict of interest. Richard was a VP. Lisa was operations manager. Different departments, but VPs outrank managers. They absolutely should have disclosed. Section 4.3, professional conduct. Employees must not engage in conduct that brings disrepute to the company or undermines trust in company leadership. Pretty sure fucking a married coworker qualifies. Section 4.7, financial responsibility. Employees, particularly those in leadership positions, are expected to maintain personal financial responsibility and legal compliance. $80,000 in unpaid child support seems like a failure of financial responsibility. I screenshot the entire ethics policy, printed it out, highlighted the relevant sections. This wasn't just about Lisa anymore. Richard Foster was a deadbeat dad, a policy violator, a predator targeting married women at his own company. If I was going down, he was coming with me, and I was going to make sure Sarah Foster got what she was owed. August, contacting Sarah. I created a new Gmail account, generic name. Sent Sarah Foster a message through Facebook Messenger. Hi, Sarah, my name is Michael. You don't know me, but we have someone in common, Richard Foster. I have information about him that you need to see regarding the child support he owes you. Can we talk? She responded within an hour. Who are you? How do you know Richard? My wife works with him. I recently discovered they've been having an affair. In the process of gathering evidence, I found information about his finances that might help your case against him. I'm not asking anything from you. I just think you deserve to know what he's really spending money on instead of supporting his children. Long pause. 10 minutes. Can you meet for coffee? We met at a Starbucks in Schaumburg, halfway between our towns. August 12th, Saturday morning. Sarah Foster was 41, tired eyes, dressed in Target clothes. She ordered a small black coffee, the cheapest thing on the menu. I ordered a large latte and a gift card, slid it across the table to her. What's this? For Tyler and Ryan, school supplies, it's anonymous. Richard doesn't need to know. Her eyes watered. Why are you helping me? Because Richard is destroying my family, and he already destroyed yours. And he's been getting away with it for too long. I showed her everything. Credit card statements showing expensive dinners and hotels while he claimed poverty to the court. His social media posts showing a lifestyle that didn't match someone who couldn't afford child support. I knew it, she whispered. I knew he was hiding money, but I couldn't prove it. My lawyer says without proof, there's nothing we can do. Now you have proof. Professional grade documentation. Time-stamped, authenticated, bank statements, credit card records, all showing he's spending money he claims he doesn't have. Why are you giving this to me? Because I'm going to destroy him anyway. Might as well help you get what you're owed in the process. We talked for 2 hours. She told me about Richard's pattern. Serial cheater, manipulative, always has a new girlfriend, promises them the world, then ghosts when things get complicated. He told me Lisa was different. that she understood him, that he was going to marry her once she left you. He told Lisa the same thing. Sarah laughed bitterly. Of course he did. We coordinated. I'd provide evidence for her lawsuit. She'd file for full back child support plus penalties. We'd time it with my other plans. When? She asked. December. His company has a holiday dinner, big event. Everyone who's anyone at Tech Venture will be there. You're going to do it publicly? Publicly, legally, and comprehensively. I like you, Michael. You're going to like me even more when Richard writes you a check for $82,000. Word count, 7,100, continuing to complete remaining sections. September, gathering more ammunition. Through Sarah, I learned something that changed everything. Richard had a history. 4 women at Tech Venture had privately complained about his behavior over the years. Inappropriate comments, unwanted advances, promises of promotions in exchange for favors. Nothing formal, just whispered complaints to friends. HR never heard about it because the women were afraid. Richard was powerful, well-liked by leadership, brought in big clients. But Sarah knew one of them, Amy Clark, junior account manager. Sarah had worked at Tech Venture herself 3 years ago. That's how she met Richard. Amy's still there, Sarah told me over the phone. She's terrified of him. I reached out to Amy, explained who I was, what I was doing. I can help you, I told her, but I need you to help me first. We met for coffee. Amy was 27, sharp, scared. He cornered me in the supply room last year, she said, hands shaking around her cup. Told me he could make me senior account manager if I was nice to him. I said no. My performance reviews suddenly went from excellent to mediocre. Did you document it? I have emails, texts he sent me. I saved everything, but I didn't know what to do with it. I know someone at Tech Venture who can help. Monica Phillips, HR director. Monica's okay, but she can't override the VPs. Richard's protected. He won't be in December. Trust me. Over the next few weeks, I connected with 3 other women. Denise Brooks from HR, ironic. Karen Mitchell from marketing. Julia Roberts from sales. All had stories. All had evidence. All had been too scared to come forward because Richard was untouchable. What if we all came forward together? I suggested in a group call I organized. With what support? Denise asked. HR can't do anything without proof of a pattern. What if I told you I have proof that Richard is currently engaged in an undisclosed workplace relationship that violates company policy, and that I'm planning to expose it at the company holiday dinner, and that if you filed formal complaints with HR that week citing a pattern of behavior, Monica Phillips would have grounds to investigate? Silence. Then Amy, you'd really do that? I'm doing it anyway. You might as well get justice too. They agreed. We coordinated. They'd file formal written complaints with Monica Phillips the week before the dinner. Monica would open an investigation. When my evidence dropped at the dinner, it would corroborate a pattern. Richard wouldn't just lose his job for the affair. He'd lose it for harassment, for creating a hostile workplace, for being a serial predator. October, the IRS tip. Sarah mentioned something else. Richard had bragged to her years ago about his creative accounting, cash payments from clients that he didn't report, consulting side gigs under the table, unreported income. He thought it made him smart, Sarah said only idiots pay full taxes. I dug into it. Richard's social media showed a lifestyle that didn't match his reported income. Based on his divorce filings, public record in Illinois, he'd reported $180K annual income, but his car lease alone was $1,200 a month. His condo rent was $3,500 a month, plus child support he wasn't paying, plus dinners, plus travel. The math didn't work on $180K, especially after taxes. I gathered evidence, screenshots of his posts about consulting gigs, LinkedIn showing clients he worked with outside Tech Venture, cash payments Lisa mentioned in text to him. October 15th, I filed an anonymous report with the IRS whistleblower program, provided documentation, evidence of unreported income. Estimated 80K in unreported annual income for 3 years. The IRS moves slowly, but they move, and when they do, it's thorough. I got a confirmation email 2 weeks later. Case opened, investigation initiated, audit notice would go out in December. Perfect timing. November, the behavior shift. November 15th, exactly 1 month before the company dinner, I changed. Not dramatically, but enough that Lisa noticed. Week 1, distance. I stopped initiating affection. When Lisa kissed me goodbye in the morning, I'd turn my head slightly so she got my cheek instead of my lips. When she'd text during the day, "How's your day, babe?" I'd reply hours later. One word. Busy. I started staying late at my home office. Emerged at 8:30 instead of 6 calls for dinner. Same time she used to come home from work. Lisa noticed by day 3. "Is everything okay? You seem distant." "Yeah, just work stress. Big project deadline." Same lie she'd been using for 10 months. Turnabout's a bitch. Week 2, cold shoulder. I started sleeping on my side of the bed with a pillow barrier between us. No touching. Started eating dinner with the boys before Lisa got home. When she walked in, I'd barely look up from helping with homework. "Food's in the fridge." "You didn't wait for me?" "You're usually late. Boys were hungry." Stopped asking about her day. Stopped telling her about mine. The irony. Lisa started trying harder. She wore lingerie to bed one night. I pretended to be asleep. She cooked my favorite meal, lasagna. "Already ate with the boys. Sorry." She suggested a date night. "Too much work. Maybe next month." She was confused. Hurt, even. Hurt. The fucking audacity. Week 3, the 180. This is a technique I learned on Reddit. Completely flip your behavior. Make them feel what you felt. I started working out every morning. 6 a.m., bought new gym clothes, got a haircut, better than usual, styled. Started saying I had plans on Saturdays without elaborating. "Where are you going?" "Out." "Out where?" "Just out." Let my phone face down on the table. When it buzzed, I'd smile at it and ignore it. Let her wonder. When she tried to initiate conversation, "So what did you do today?" I'd give one-word answers. "Work." "Gym." "Stuff." Lisa started to panic. I could see it in her eyes. Questions got more frequent, more desperate. "Who are you texting? Where were you for 3 hours? Why are you being like this?" I'd just shrug. "Like what?" Gaslighting. Like she'd done to me for 10 months. Week 4, paranoia. By December 1st, Lisa was a mess. She started accusing me of cheating. "Are you seeing someone? You can tell me." I looked her dead in the eye. "Would it matter if I was?" "Of course it would matter. We're married." "Interesting. Glad you remember that." She started crying. "What does that mean?" "Nothing. Forget it." I let her stew in it. Let her feel the paranoia, the anxiety, the wondering. 10 months of what I'd felt, compressed into 30 days. The company dinner was in 2 weeks. December 15th, 2024, the strike. December 15th, day of Tech Ventures' annual holiday dinner. I told Lisa I wasn't going. "I don't feel like being social. You go. Have fun with your team." "Are you sure? Everyone asks about you." "I'm sure. Got work to catch up on anyway." She seemed relieved. Probably easier to flirt with Richard if I wasn't there. What Lisa didn't know, I had registered as a guest through Monica Phillips 2 weeks ago. I had been coordinating with Sarah Foster for 3 months. 4 female colleagues had filed formal harassment complaints with HR last week. Monica Phillips had opened a confidential investigation. The IRS audit notice was ready to be served. Sarah's lawyer had a lawsuit filed and ready for process server delivery. My divorce papers were filed and ready, being held by my attorney, Stephen Clark. Lisa left for the dinner at 6:30 p.m., dressed in a new dress I'd never seen. Red, low cut, for Richard, not for me. I left at 7, dressed in my best suit. Navy blue, white shirt, tie. Lisa bought me for our anniversary 3 years ago. Drove to the Westin Chicago Northwest in Itasca, where Tech Venture held their annual events. Arrived at 7:30. Checked in with the event coordinator. Monica Phillips had added me to the guest list. The ballroom was packed, maybe 200 people. Tech Venture's entire staff plus spouses, open bar, fancy dinner, DJ playing corporate-friendly holiday music. I spotted Lisa immediately, standing by the bar with a group of colleagues. Richard was next to her. His hand kept brushing her lower back. Nobody seemed to notice or care. I stayed back, near the entrance, waited. 7:40 p.m., Richard got drunk. I could tell from across the room, loosened tie, loud laughing, animated gestures. 7:42 p.m., Richard spotted me, did a double take. Face registered surprise, then quickly masked with fake enthusiasm. He walked over, confident stride, big smile. "Mike, didn't know you were coming." "Change of plans." Great. How's the industrial design business? Still making, what do you make? Factory stuff? Something like that. He laughed, condescending. "Lisa tells me you work from home. Must be nice. Easy life." "It has its perks. Flexibility. Time to handle personal business." He didn't catch the implication. Too drunk. 7:45 p.m. Richard leaned in, whiskey breath. "Can I ask you something man to man?" "Sure." "How does it feel?" My heart rate didn't change. I'd been waiting for this. How does what feel? "You know, watching her shine here. She's brilliant, your wife. Real go-getter, climbing the ladder. She deserves more than..." He trailed off, but the meaning was clear. More than you. I checked my watch. 7:46 p.m. I smiled. "How does unemployment feel? You'll find out in about 90 seconds. "What?" "Watch." 7:47 p.m. exactly. Across the ballroom, a woman in a professional suit entered. Process server. I recognized her from the photo Sarah's lawyer had sent me. She walked straight to Richard, confident, no hesitation. "Richard William Foster?" "Yeah?" He was still confused, still drunk, still confident. "You've been served." She handed him a manila envelope. Richard's face cycled through emotions, confusion, anger. "What the fuck is this?" He ripped it open, started reading. I watched his face change as comprehension hit. Lawsuit from Sarah Foster, $82,000 in unpaid child support, plus penalties. Spiel. Attorney fees. Who the fuck? He looked at me. Realization dawning. You did this? Keep reading. There's more coming. The room was starting to notice. People turning, conversations stopping, whispers. 7:49 p.m. Another person entered the ballroom, man in a dark suit, badge visible on his belt. He walked directly to Richard. "Richard Foster?" "What?" Richard's voice was rising now. "IRS Criminal Investigations Division. You've been notified of a federal audit for tax years 2022 through 2024. You need to contact this number by Monday, December 18th. He handed Richard another envelope. Richard's hands were shaking as he opened it. Notice of federal tax audit. Suspected unreported income. What the fuck, Mike? He lunged toward me. Security, hotel security that Monica had quietly stationed, stepped between us. "I'm not done," I said calmly. 7:51 p.m. Monica Phillips, HR Director of Tech Venture Solutions, walked over. Professional. Cold. "Richard, I need you to come with me. Now." "I'm in the middle of..." "Now, Richard. We've received formal complaints from 4 employees regarding sexual harassment and inappropriate workplace conduct. Company policy requires immediate investigation. You're suspended effective immediately pending the outcome." The room went completely silent. DJ stopped the music. Everyone was staring now. Richard's face went from red to white, hands clutching the 2 envelopes, mouth opening and closing like a fish. Lisa appeared. She'd been watching from 10 feet away, face as white as Richard's. "Mike, what's happening?" 7:53 p.m., Stephen Clark, my divorce attorney, tall, gray hair, expensive suit, approached. Also on the guest list, courtesy of Monica. "Lisa Anderson?" "Yes." "You've been served." He handed her divorce papers. She dropped them, literally. Papers scattered on the floor of the ballroom. No, Mike, please, what is this?" I picked up the papers, handed them back to her. "Divorce petition filed last week. You're named as defendant. Adultery cited as grounds. Evidence included. 380 pages of it, actually." How did I know?" I cut her off. "I've known since June, Lisa. June 8th, 1:15 a.m. Remember texting Richard about how clueless I was? How I'd probably cry when I stubbed my toe? Mr. Mediocre? I've been reading everything for 6 months." Her hands went to her mouth. Tears started immediately. Richard tried to leave. Monica blocked him with security. "Richard, you're not leaving. Security is at all exits. We need to finish this conversation in the office, now." I turned to face both of them. The entire company was watching. 200 people, silent, phones out, probably recording. "You asked how it feels, Richard. Both of you wanted to know what it feels like to be me. To be the clueless, mediocre husband who doesn't even notice when his wife comes home." I paused, let it sink in. "Now you tell me. How does it feel to lose everything in 4 minutes?" Richard couldn't speak. Just stood there, 3 envelopes in his hands, career imploding in real time, surrounded by his colleagues, his life crashing down. Lisa was sobbing, hyperventilating. "Please, we can fix this. I'll end it. I'll do anything. Please don't leave me." "You should have thought about that before you spent 10 months fucking your coworker, spending our money on hotels, and mocking your husband to his face. Enjoy the rest of your evening." I walked out of that ballroom with my head high. Behind me, chaos, gasps, whispers. Richard being escorted out by Monica and security. Lisa collapsed into a chair, divorce papers in her hands, mascara running. I got in my car, drove to Chris's house. He opened the door, took one look at me, handed me a beer. "It's done?" "It's done." Best beer of my life.